What's up, Internet? We are back with my weird multi-cart flash cart mabob. Sorry about not streaming last week. I had a bunch of family stuff come up, so unfortunately I could not do it. But we're back with N64 stuff. And this time, I believe we are starting with Mischief Makers. But before we do that, I got an interesting message on one of my YouTube videos. Someone was really enjoying me suffering through bad sports games. Got a fun little surprise for you, because starting right about here with NASCAR, for about 2 pages, it's just sports. Oh, that's sad. But on the bright side, we get to play Mischief Makers now. On the downside, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm using the really nice Brawler controller. The problem is Mischief Maker is like one of 3 games on the N64 that is D-pad only. This is not really a controller made for the D-pad, so it doesn't come up much when playing N64, but this one's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, which is a shame because this is by far one of the best N64 games ever made. I actually have a copy of this. I reviewed it forever ago, and this is just one of the best games on the system. It's got some really hard levels, though. There was one level that for years I couldn't beat because it required you to button mash, and again, with my bad hands, I can't button mash super well. But this is a game made by Treasure. They made a couple of really good N64 games. They made Sin and Punishment as well. This is just a very different style of game, though. It's a 2D platformer, which there weren't a ton of those on the N64. And it was really quite good. So we're going to play some Mischief Makers. I love this game so much. Start. Name. Done. Oh, I could be Alpha, Beta, or Gamma. Nice. Okay, I am an M or an F. Unfortunately, non-binary, not an option. I'll go with M. Age. This affects one thing. At the end of the game, this game has like an absurdly hard to get final ending because there's a bunch of random collectibles, and every collectible you get extends the ending by about a second. And if you get all the collectibles, you get to see a finals like thing where you get to see this girl as your age. So depending on what you actually put as your age, it does affect the ending a little bit. So I'm 31. We'll go in here and we'll play some Mischief Makers. Honestly, I just want to play a lot of Mischief Makers right now, just because I don't want to play sports. We're not going to do it this week, obviously, but I'm not looking forward to that, and I just want to spend as much time not doing that as possible. Yes, you've got visitors, and it's definitely not at all a trap. And you're definitely not getting kidnapped by these guys. Unfortunately, I can't skip any of this, I don't think. But to be fair, the plot to Mischief Makers is pretty great, so let's not skip it, if we could. But the professor gets kidnapped. And now we gotta go rescue him. Also, someone's playing a treasure game on the TV, because that's a great little detail. Treasure, why do you make so many cool games? The animation in this game is quite good. They've got so many different animations for everything. Alright. So let's meet Marina, who will be player character Chan, chasing after the professor that's been kidnapped. Also, there's an evil empire, because all empires are evil. It's just a rule. Again, it's not like someone would want to name their kingdom an empire because emperor just sounds better than king, because it does. No, you're obviously an empire if you're an evil kingdom. That's how that goes. I love this game. I haven't played this game in forever. Also, voice clips. Also, everything has a creepy face on it, by the way. That's Mischief Makers for you. Now, this is Marina Lightyears. That's a very short version of her name. She's also a playable character in Rakugaki Showtime, a very, very obscure Power Stone fighting game, sort of, on the PS1. Also, Marina is slightly racist, because all the Clancers also have the same faces as the evil ones. Okay, so yeah. Control stick does nothing. Gotta use the buttons. Unfortunately, the Brawler controller is kind of designed like an Xbox One controller, so the C buttons the actual buttons suck. Also, shaking, which is kind of the biggest thing you can do in this game is shaking things, which is why the Japanese name was Shake Shake Troublemakers. Bonk. Now, if I recall, you have to beat this stage in, like, I think 20 seconds to get the gold star. There's a lot of plot things going on here. I think I need to talk to you, so... it's C down, isn't it? No, C right. What is the talk button? Bonk. Oh, it's L and R. Okay, fair enough. It's progressed the speech as well as talk. Geold. This is Planet Clancer. Everything has weird, creepy faces on it. You get used to it. Also, it's got amazing music. Actually, I was using the Mischief Makers soundtrack for a video I was editing earlier today, so you might get to hear some more music from this game on the YouTube channel in the near future. In fact, probably before this video comes out. So now we got a big-ass bomb. It's got 8. Also, there's a big mech guy here. Don't worry about that. That doesn't at all come into anything. Right now, we just need to explode a thing. Stay. There we go. I keep thinking it's C down, but it's B. The neat thing about Mischief Makers is it reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong Country in that every single level is kind of its own unique thing, doing its own, like, sort of stuff. Also, this is an evil Clancer clone of us. They don't ever really explain that, from what I remember. But now she's going to mess with our name by making everyone think that she's us, because we clearly look identically. Shake, 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 throw! I love Mischief Makers. Now these people just complain that we've just ruined their lives. Which, to be fair, I did just ruin that guy's life. But it was funny, so it's okay. Oh, I can pick a thing up here. There we go. So we got red gems. Those are healing, I believe. Blue gems, I think, are points. Gold gems are the collectibles you need to see the ending. And I think you get an extra gold gem for, like, beating time trials on every stage, and some of those are really bad. Throw! That guy's attacking us. There we go. And we just built up a second health bar. We could have done a lot more in that level, but again, I didn't want to. I just want to play through as much of this as I can, so I don't really care so much. Alright, so. Yeah, but every level has like a par time as well, kind of like Doom or something like that. So you gotta beat these levels really quick. It's really... Some of the gold gems you find by collecting aren't actually collectible if you go for the timing. And you have to do both, so you kind of have to play at least every level twice. Unless you're unbelievably good. But now we're at Clan Ball Land, where we get to learn about the mechanics of Clan Balls, these floaty things. We'll be seeing a lot of them if we play much more of this. The pink one with the bow gives you hints. You don't really need them, though. I mean, I might, just because I can't remember the buttons for anything. There we go. More clan balls, please. We're looking for the white ones, because the white ones are always, like, triggers for stuff. And that circle is where there's trigger. This one's on a spring, so we can spring ourselves out like that. I can actually... Well, not this one. Some of them you can actually, like, change their trajectory and angle them. Now, if I recall, there's a white one around here. There it is. That's the one we want. So, it's right... No! I will wait. Stop laughing. Bop. That was worth laughing about. Okay. There we go. I can't shake this guy off as much as I'd like to. This is my clan ball now. Oh, I love this game. Alright, that'll activate another switch over here. These ones are on a thing. You can even extend some of them. There's a lot of mechanics that just shaking stuff does in this game. It's quite impressive what they managed to do with such a simple idea. Like, there's a jar, and you can put items in the jar, and if you shake it, you can, like, create new items. It's a very mechanically complex game for such a simple idea as just running around shaking things. Alright, so let's do Spike Land. It's like the previous land, except the things are covered in spikes. Yeah, the kids don't want to be here. It's dangerous. They've got bad feelings. And they're not going to be sensible. They're just going to run. And this poor kid gets abandoned by his father. So we're going to... Gary, quit it. The spike balls are shooting at us. The neat thing about these spike balls is they'll hurt you, but they won't kill you. And if you get damaged by them, they temporarily turn invisible. Alright, well, I tried to deliver the kid to the adult. Because I'm a nice person like that. You're welcome, kid. Now, I think I can just roll under that, but I timed that really badly. But I've got all these, so it's fine. Now, of course, we haven't collected really any of the gold gems or anything. These levels are a lot more complex than I'm showing off. But again, I just want to play as much as I can. I've already played for about 10 minutes. I'd like to finish the first area, though. It's dinner time, so go collect all the kids. Also, Marina's a pretty lady. And if you compliment her, she'll do anything for you. Also, this creepy butterfly thingamabob. I think if you shake him, you get like an extra life or something like that. And these kids are kind of jerks that just don't want to go home. They don't want to listen to reason. You just kind of have to whale them in there. You're picking flowers. Shake, shake, shake. I want to try and catch the butterfly. Ah, it doesn't want to go. That's fine, I guess. The nice thing is, while dashing is sort of mapped to mashing the directional pad, which is, again, very awkward, especially for me, you can also use the C buttons. They don't work as far, but they will let you boost. So these are really just for correctives, whereas the other one's for straight-up speed. And as you can tell by this little red thing here, that's actually an explodable thing. That's a totally optional area. Gotcha. Now I just gotta make sure I don't do that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Aha! I think you can catch him if you're fast on the button mashing, but I'm not very good, so. But you need to get good because there is actually a level that's entirely reliant on that, and if you don't have that down, you will not be able to actually beat this game. Which is a bit of a problem if you're, like, especially reliant on the C button dashes, because they're a little easier to pull off. But again, it's a treasure game, so it's kind of got a high skill ceiling, but it's worth the investment. Let's shake Miss Hint. No, actually, this game is actually pretty hard. Watch for the grab cursor. That doesn't help me in this stage, though. Thanks, Miss Hint. I think there's one more kid. I'm just not sure where to go for him. Levels aren't super huge, typically. Like, we're early games, so we're actually going with abnormally small levels. A lot of areas actually do have multiple areas, but the areas in this game aren't unbelievably huge. I think we have to ride that, or do that. Yeah, that's the one. Usually it's the white ones, but we can actually modify the direction this one goes. Yep, back here, you little bastard. Alright, there we go. Go home. And it turns out her husband disappeared. So we could go look for him in the optional area. But I don't want to. Yeah, that was a terrible time. Alright, next is Blockman Rises. So you remember that mech thingamabob? That comes into play now. Because this guy, it turns out he turns into a mech. Don't question it. It's just... Also, he wants to be shaken a lot to awaken his fighting spirits. But yes, he's a mech. And you can go like this and stretch them all out, and you actually just need to go all the way to the end of the stage, and that's basically what the stage is. But again, like I said, it's kind of like Donkey Kong Country in the sense that the game is entirely, like, every stage it's its own completely unique beast. And I like that. I like that it's constantly trying to give you something new. Those are explosives, we can use those. You can even use explosives to make better explosives later on. Whoops. I don't think this game sold terribly well because it was 2D, but I had a lot of interest in this when it first came out. Like, this totally shows my mentality, though. This was at my local video store, and for probably at least 2 years, every time I went in there with the express purpose of renting this game, and I just never did until, like, it was literally the only thing there was. Because as much as I wanted to play it, I was kind of not confident in trying something new. Like, I used to be a very adventurous person when I was younger, and eventually I just sort of stopped being that, and there's a reason for that. That's her full name, by the way. Every summer I would go on vacation with my grandparents, and, like, there'd be this awesome farm. There's a gold thing, and that farm had, like, an ice cream parlor in it. And it had, like, special ice cream you could only ever get there. And one year, I, being adventurous at the time, wanted to try mango. And I hated it. And I knew that I could only go there once a year, and it was a special thing. So to know that I picked something so catastrophically badly that I basically ruined my one chance a year to spend with my grandparents having nice ice cream, you know, I hated that. So from then on out, I just ordered chocolate. I stopped being super adventurous and stuff. And, you know, when it comes to games, and I've gotten less and less like that over time, but, you know, when I was renting stuff, even if it's something I wanted, I'd usually talk myself out of it, just because I didn't want it to be like a waste of my time or money if it was a game I didn't want to play. So I usually just stuck with something that I absolutely knew was going to be something I liked. And I've since, you know, gotten through that, at least in terms of games. I'm a very picky eater and stuff. And I will never try and mango anything ever, but, you know. My point is that at one point I was a lot more adventurous in all regards than I am now. But I'd like to think, to a degree, I have a point to why that is. So we're actually going back to the original village, where we saw these gold gems before. And I think to get this gold gem, we have to beat it within a certain speed, as well as without characters taking damage. Unfortunately, I don't care about that, so we're just going to wail on our teammates. Because why not? Turn to a big block mech again, you stupid baseball cap guy. Alright. Yeah, you can see that guy's crying right there. That means we've effectively not gotten the gold star here. Hey, Lumberjack Cage Master, how you doing? Thanks for the raid. Yeah, they're crying, so we've messed up in getting all the gold stars ever, which is fine. Again, I'm not going for the ending. I'm going just to show off the first world, really. Shake. Just because I want to play more of this game and stay as far away from sports games as we possibly can. Because, oh god, there's 2 pages of the bastards coming up. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, some of that maybe might be good. Because I think there was some, like, NBA Jam stuff on there, and those are arcadey things. Those are fine, but, like, just, please, no more simulation sports games. Why? Why does this N64 have so many sports games? I'm genuinely shocked. Not much, just playing Mischief Makers. Just trying to stick away from the terrible, terrible 2 pages of like NBA and NCAA and NFL and NHL and NASCAR that's going to be coming up sooner rather than later. I want to stick to nice games that aren't that. This stage reminds me a lot of one of my favorite games of all time, this obscure Saturn game called Astal. Because it has like background elements that interact with the foreground, which was a thing that happened in that game. I don't know what that jump was, but that was amazing. Also, we've got a gun now. Because again, Marina, she's a very complicated girl. She doesn't mind carrying some guns. She doesn't mind exploding some stuff. Yeah, the N64 might very well be the king of all sports games. I'm seeing that. And the funny thing is, when I started this, I made an absolute point of saying I've played pretty much every N64 game. I guess I meant that aside from sports games, because I never really bothered playing sports games. I never saw the point. I'm not a sports guy, though. Like, you know, unless it's like a goofy arcadey sport game, I don't care. You know, like, I like the Mutant League stuff. But I don't care about your FIFA. Like, I don't. I'm sorry. You know, I've gotten lots of messages on my last sports N64 multi-cart video. It's like, yeah, I know you probably like them. I'm sorry, but I hate them, and I don't want anything to do with them. I'm starting to think, like, when we get there, I might have to do the nice code protocol for it, because I just don't see myself enjoying it at all. Where's the explosive, my bobs? There should be some explosives around here. Where are explosives? I don't think this is... Ah, here it is. Gotta have a little bit of environmental awareness to solve some of these puzzles. There's a lot of levels in this game that are just puzzle-based, too. And things that push stuff. Oh, no way, you've got Astal? Nice! That's my second favorite Saturn game, and probably my fifth favorite game of all time. It's totally... This is the level that reminds me of Astal. Also, there's like a big swirly thing in the sky in Astal as well. But I love Astal. I played through it once, and I'm thinking about doing it again for Saturn Day, but I really need to either replace my Saturn or fix my Odin up so it can do Saturn stuff. And I'm still trying to figure out how to set my Odin up properly. I'm looking forward to it because it can play everything, but, you know, I gotta get it up and running first. But I totally get not being able to beat Astal. When I was a kid, I played Astal pretty much non-stop, and there was like just 2 or 3 levels that I wouldn't have an issue with, but the moment I played them, like, I would instantly just game over. And... like, even now, I think that there's probably about 2 levels that are just... you're either gonna pass without taking damage, or you're gonna, like, just wipe. My number 1 Saturn game is Nights into Dreams, which was the game that made me want to be a game developer. And then my third favorite would probably be Panzer Dragoon. Or Panzer Dragoon Saga, but I've only played a little bit of that through emulation, and I really... and again, my satiator kind of broke on my Saturn, so... unfortunately, I can't keep playing it, and I really want to copy that, because that seems like the best game in the world for me. Alright, next is Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, no, wait, it's Mission Impossible. Sorry, I read Mission Impossible as Mischief Makers. Alright, so let's... this video's about to get hit by a copyright strike, isn't it? Great. Let's play Possible. I think I've... oh, no, I don't think this is the game I thought it was. Oh, no, maybe it... yeah, I know this game. This is the game I thought it was. Okay. I don't remember how to play this game, though. Okay. Jump, 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 jump over a fence. I can't tell if that Jeep is moving or not. I don't think it is, but it's really... uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. What's the shoot button? What's the shoot button? Ah! Run away! Okay, it's not that. Oh, maybe it is. What? Okay. Oh no! Okay, so Z is the shoot button. How do I abort the mission now? Let's try again. Oh, nice. The Die Hard trilogy. I really want to play that. That game looks really fun. But that's the game that's got like 3 different games in it. And that, to me, sounds really interesting. The only Die Hard game I've ever actually played is Die Hard Arcade, which isn't even really a Die Hard game. It's just a game that kind of slapped a Die Hard license on, but that's a very, very fun game. Okay, so there's some guys over in this general direction. What's the... there we go. Oh. Oh god, okay. Okay, you're... Why? What? Okay, the controls to this are like completely naff. Oh god. Yeah, I like that idea. Have you ever played the sequel? Because I think there was 2 Die Hard arcade trilogies. I know about the first one. I've never seen the second one, though. I just know it exists. Okay, so jump. Can I climb this? I don't think I can. Eh. Nope. Now, when I shot the guy who was out here, that's when it said I couldn't change identities. Find an excuse for errand. Done. Ah, it's not as good as the first one? Interesting. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. I think I have to wait for the guy to go back in the building. Or maybe I just need to punch him. Give me your pants, sir. I need your identity. And apparently your pants are tied to that. It's an Agent 47 sort of situation. I just need your clothes. Oh, man. I want to play more Hitman now. I've been playing so much Hitman. I'm so bitter, though. Like, they had 2 of the DLC packs for, like, Hitman on sale, and I went to buy them, and they just stopped being on sale the moment I tried to buy them, of course. So, alas, I don't get the fancy DLCs just yet. Can I go through here? Nope. It combines the 3 different styles into one story. Yeah, that does kind of defeat the purpose of the original. I still just like the idea that it's basically 3 games in one, though. That's such a neat idea. Okay, I think this is the guy. So you... I can't kill you, because when I tried to kill you, apparently that got me a mission abort. So let me knock you out with a judo chop. What? What? Okay, so I can't kill him or attack him. Because I need him for an identity? I don't get this. Let's try watching the cutscene. Maybe this will explain some nonsense. I doubt it, but maybe?
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. International weapons dealer Basil
Okay.
has set up operations.
So there's some dudes wearing fezzes in the Arctic. Actually, it's probably Siberia.
By selling 12 medium-range missiles to an enemy country. Your mission, Jim, should you decide to accept it.
I do not accept.
The submarine transporting the missiles. As always, should you or any of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions.
So what happens when I don't accept this mission?
5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
Well, that was really goofy. Okay, so let's see. Arrive at the canal, you should land unnoticed. Clutter will take the long way around to join you near the tunnel, and Dowry will take the raft back. Main problem is to get the sub-pen with the other side. Very long, well-guarded tunnel using your face maker. Okay, so the guy we killed is the guy we need to steal the identity of. Okay. Face Maker. How do I use it exactly? This actually reminds me a lot of this obscure-ass PS2 game made by the guy who did Deadly Premonition called Spy Fiction. It was basically a very anime Metal Gear knockoff. And that's comparing it to Metal Gear in terms of being anime, but it had this really neat sort of identity feature where you could take photos of your enemies and then you could like just functionally recreate their appearance and pretend you're them. But depending on the quality of your photo, you wouldn't be able to use it entirely. So like if you took a photo from someone from behind, you could recreate their clothing, but you couldn't recreate their face or anything. How do I use the... Ah! That's what I need. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I want to open the door, thanks. So I need to stand here. What's the button to make the thing do the thing? Okay, so that. No. There it is. Okay, so it's B, this, and then I need to find the guy. I'm looking for my dog. I don't think you should go look for your dog. Okay, so I need this, and then I need to... Nope. What's the button? Okay, so I still had to fight him, but now it's legally okay, I guess. Whoops. What is the freaking controls to this? I'm gonna try one more time. Okay, so let's just mess with the controls a little bit. So it's B opens this. No. R, no. Z, no. No. A, no. What the heck? Okay, it's C down. Why? Why C down? What is this control scheme? Okay, so let's start by shooting these guys so we don't have to deal with them again. Okay. Ow. Would you quit doing that so I can just shoot you in your stupid generic-ass guard face? Okay. So we need to pop that away and then punch. Okay. Go here. I think you dodged a bullet by doing that. It's fine. Bop. Okay, so B, C down, right. No. Okay. I don't understand the control scheme because everything seems to take about 5 seconds to do anything, but there we go. Okay, so we changed our identity. We're now this guy. So now we gotta go to a long tunnel, is what the mission thing said. Am I supposed to talk on my phone? Like, is that what the... Oh. Okay. Okay, so we're looking for a long tunnel. Thank you, N64. Draw distance. I think this is where we need to go. I have an important errand. Only let vehicles through. Okay. For some reason it wouldn't let me stop doing this. Okay, so only let vehicles in. So let's get... I don't know, I would think if the controls were less janky, it might be good. Like, it might at the very least be playable. But so far, it's just... The controls are so bad. That face-changing thing, I had to go through every combination of buttons before something worked. I still don't know what worked, because it seemed like nothing worked, and then like 5 seconds later something happened. So I don't know, this... I'm not really feeling this. Oh, you know where we have to go? We have to go get that Jeep all the way over there. Even though there's a vehicle parked right outside the gate we could probably use. But wait, we'll need keys. Where do we find the keys? Oh, do we have to wait for an NPC? Okay. Huh. Not seeing any NPCs. Where the hell are we supposed to go? I mean, we talked to a guy, and he said he'd be here, but we're wandering around and I'm not seeing anyone trying to come meet us by the vehicle that we need. Huh. Not gonna lie, I want to go back to play Mischief Makers. I at least understand that game. Punch, 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 punch. Oh, do we have something over here? We might have something over here. Oh, but I think that's the canal we probably will die if we jump into. So let's not do that. Good morning. Seriously, where's the guy? There's supposed to be a guy. Am I supposed to knock out everyone here? I hadn't noticed it was a good morning, but maybe. It's possible. I guess, if it had to be. Okay. I don't get this. But I will say this environment is desperately making me want to play some Time Splitters 2 right now. Let me drive the Jeep of my Bob. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other NPCs. Maybe this vehicle? No. That other one at least popped up a text box, so I'm thinking that Jeep is where we need to go, but, like... Yeah, I'm thinking I have to find the NPC, but, like... I've already talked to most of them. And all I'm getting is good morning, which is not helpful. I could try knocking them all out, maybe, but considering that there's a guy we need to talk to get through, he'd probably notice, I would think. Can I climb this? Can't climb this. Can't get in here. I do not understand what this game is expecting of me right now. Okay, so... Talking on... Okay, getting near the vehicle probably didn't actually do it. Talking on the... Pressing A when you got like a thing on your little phone in the corner seems to activate a read your text messages function. Which is a little esoteric. Maybe I'm cold, so I need to go into the building and warm up. Okay, so now I'm in here. That white dot on the radar is just here. I think it's this phone, but I'm not seeing any way to interact with it. I mean, we're right here. We gathered the orders, which were here. We knocked out the guy, which was here. That seemed to be kind of the only thing we could do. Unless maybe I'm supposed to break the computer? or interact with it in some way, but I'm not seeing any sort of interact prompts. Same with the phone. Doesn't seem to be any way of interacting with any of this nonsense. It's just, this is stuff that's here. Like, I'm not getting any interactive prompts on the phone thing. And all I can do otherwise is punch things, unless maybe I need to read the letter?
Your head, Hut.
Hold on. What is this control scheme? It's awful. Okay, so no, no, no. Duck. No, none of that seems to do anything. I'm willing to accept that I'm dumb, but I don't think this game is terribly well explained in what it wants me to do. I can't back up over that fence. Objectives. Get to sub-pen with clutter. Briefing. Already got the briefing down, but let's take a look again. Oh, I have to watch all this. Okay. Facemaker, perhaps. You'll need him to complete the mission. Okay, but where is he? Near the tunnel entrance. Okay, but we were already... Wait a minute, team. Am I supposed to... I was thinking maybe I'm supposed to swap my characters or something? Like it's almost a sort of like... What's its... Lost Vikings sort of thing where you have to manage a team or something. He's supposed to be here, near the entrance to the gate, but all there is the guy behind the gate. This guy. Am I just supposed to talk to people numerous times? They seem to just be saying the exact same thing over and over again. Am I supposed to be looking for a different NPC somewhere else near the fence? Am I supposed to open these doors? I can't interact with them. Is he supposed to be like behind this fence or something? What is this game? New plan. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Judo chop! Yeah! Alright, well, we haven't failed the mission yet. So I'm guessing that wasn't who we were looking for. Am I supposed to go around the fence? I don't think I can even do that. Whoop! That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Screw that game. I feel no desire to ever play that again. Alright, let's try something else. So last time we did Mission Impossible. Now it's Monaco Grand Prix. Alright. Let's do it. I'm sure this is going to be another really boring racing game. Oh, it's by Ubisoft. Great. It's going to be a big open world with lots of radio towers we can jump off of. Alright, single race. Sounds good. Let's drive in Australia. Okay, where's the thing that lets me pick the color? That's all I care about. Give me car color. Because everyone knows the blue cars are fast. And ones that have racing stripes. Oh god. That's weird 2D compositing. The tires are clearly 3D objects, but the rest of the UI seems to be 2D. With weird layering. This is weird looking. I think I've seen a Dreamcast game that was kind of like this. I think it was called like The Spirit of 86 or something like that. Whoa! Yep, that's fine. Hey, advertising! Oh, hey, cool. You can dye your tires with grass. That's interesting. Oh, and it's actually wearing down. That's... whoa, kind of neat, actually. For what it's worth, that's a neat feature. Spirit of 36. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm just kind of vaguely, whoa, trying to remember. I'm not well versed in Dreamcast. I have like 5 Dreamcast games, and 4 of them are like the worst games on the system. And the moment I get my Odin up and running, I think I'm going to have to make one video, and I'm going to need like the collective brain trust of the internet to explain the game to me, because I just don't understand it. Because it is like the most weird, confusing, and badly designed game I think I've ever played. Meow. Oh. That dirt cloud was kind of impressive for what it's worth, but I think after this we have to play Monopoly. Oh god. What is the break button? Okay, break is B, it just doesn't work very well. Oh, this car handles like garbage. Truly, this is where Ubisoft got the idea for Trackmania. What games do I have? I've got Sonic Adventure, which I like and I think is a classic, but it's also an affront to all the senses. I have Blue Stinger, which if you've never heard is totally understandable. It was a launch title no one ever played because it was abhorrent. But it's kind of like a proto Dead Space. I'm thinking about doing something with it at some point once I get my Odin up and running. I have Samba de Amigo, which is actually not a bad game, but I'm bad at rhythm games. I have Mach-In X, which I think is the only game I have that I objectively really like, because Mach-In X is quite cool. But the game I'm talking about is this really obscure-ass game called Seventh Cross Evolution. And Seventh Cross Evolution, I think, for 90% of the people who play it, is a game where you sit in one spot without any clue what to do while a giant crab murders you. But it's ostensibly a game about evolution, but nothing in the game explains how it works. You're just given like this giant wall of like 500 buttons, and you're just told press some of the buttons and maybe you'll evolve. And nothing in the game explains it. And what's best about it is like there's one guide on the internet last I checked, and its explanation for it is, I'm not going to explain how this works. It's pretty complicated, but you'll figure it out. And it's like, oh, that's helpful. That's the one thing I needed help with. It's like, you're not actually willing to help me with it. The manual to Seventh Cross doesn't explain it. The game sure as hell doesn't explain it. Seventh Cross is like the biggest mess ever. It's... I genuinely think I need to get the collective brain trust of the entire internet to explain the game to me, because I've tried to play that game numerous times, and I don't think I've ever gotten past the part where you start the game and you can't move and a crab murders you a bunch. And I think that's a pretty average experience with Seventh Cross. It's just objectively terrible. But it's an interesting game, if nothing else. I've got Evolution as well. Evolution is not a great game, though. And I mean, hell, I showed off the GameCube compilation last week to prove it. But I like Evolution. I don't think it's great, but I kind of like it. I've got fond memories of it, if nothing else. But yeah, I just don't have much in terms of, like, really great Dreamcast games. But to be fair, I've already got Jet Set Radio digitally on everything. I've already got Skies of Arcadia Legends. I've got, like, 8 different versions of Shenmue. Even if Shenmue isn't the greatest game ever. I have a fondness for it, but it's definitely like a Marmite-style game. I think a lot of people put it on a pedestal, and it's really not that great. But it's an interesting game, and I appreciate what it's trying to do. But I want to get more and more into the Dreamcast, and now that I've got an Odin that can ostensibly do Dreamcast, I should be able to at least play it somewhat regularly once I figure out how to actually get it working. But I don't understand how to set up like stuff like RetroArch and put a front end on it and make sure it works properly. That stuff's all a bit beyond me, because I don't emulate stuff typically. Yeah, Evolution is pretty bland. Like I said, I played the GameCube compilation last week for the first time in probably about 20 years. And I remember having fondness for it, but it's really not that great. It was a game that was made to fill space in a library that didn't have too many RPGs, both on the GameCube and on the Dreamcast. But both of those things have Skies of Arcadia, which does it far more competently, because that's an actual good game, which we should be back to tomorrow. Hopefully. Assuming that I get some stuff done tonight. Yeah, the GameCube compilation of Evolution was weird because it's like Skies of Arcadia. There's not really a definitive version of it. You've just got two versions that do different stuff. Because, like, the GameCube version, it's a compilation, and it has stuff that the original version didn't have, at least in the sense of voice acting and stuff. But it also acts as like 70% of the original game, which is weird. And again, it's been forever since I played the Dreamcast version, but I think that was part of why the GameCube version just had such bizarre pacing. You get like 5-10-minute cutscenes back to back, because I think some of those were supposed to be in between stages that just got cut, so they just sort of stacked them, and it just got weird pacing. Yeah, it starts off with a super abridged version of Evolution 1, and then I think Evolution 2... it kept the entirety of it, even though there was like a dungeon that had like 50 floors that could have really been axed. I think they kept that. But it also has stuff that the Dreamcast release didn't have in it, so it's almost like a definitive edition, but not quite. Evolution is a very peculiar series. And then there was I believe it was Neo Geo Pocket Color, but it might have been a WonderSwan game. I get those two kind of confused every now and then. There was a handheld version of Evolution which had some of the most awkward translation I've ever seen. Whoa! Yeah, you do have to get through the weird truncated version of Evolution 1 to get to Evolution 2. Yep. I don't know. I think Evolution could have been a significantly better game than it was, but it's serviceable. But that's about as complimentary as I can be about it. That said, I still have very fond memories about it, so I'm not regretting that I finally have a copy of the GameCube game. What's the reverse button? Nope. There's no reverse button in this game. There's a lot of different camera angles, though. No reverse button. Okay. I want it on the record, I didn't hit anything to engage reverse. Okay. It's right to drop into new... Oh, I see. So it's right to gear up, gear down. Okay. I see. I care not for this game. You know, a few minutes ago we were talking about how the N64 was like the home of all these weird, bad simulation things. I think it was the place for, like, really crappy, mediocre racing games. Ew. I don't even know where the map is. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. Now we need to watch for sniper assassins hanging out, ready to blow our car up. Although I think we're in Australia, not Miami. Also, they might be dressed as flamingos, because I just unlocked that outfit. Oh, I want to go play some Hitman now. The game is so good. I'm still bitter I didn't get the DLC for it, though. But yeah, I think having Evolution broken up into 2 sequences would have probably been the sensible thing to do. I think we're done with this. It's game number 3 down. they could have packaged it like Evolution 2 and then just made the first disc like a prequel or like a prologue or something. That would have probably been a sensible thing to do. Alright, next is Monopoly. Oh, good. Oh, good Monopoly. Now, query, if I go to British, is that going to drop this into like some kind of PAL mode and break the video? Let's find out. Or is it just going to spell things like in proper English, like I would spell things out because I'm Canadian? Well, I seem to be able to play this, so, you know. Add and remove player. Add a human. We'd be a iron, a cannon, a top hat, a money bag, a ship, a wheelbarrow, I guess, car, a jockey. I don't remember half these things, and I'll be the top hat for style points. Okay. We'll add a bold computer. I don't know what that actually means, but... A what? Bold. There we go. $7 or $8 for Evolution. That's pretty good. I ended up paying about 60. But I was talking to my Discord about it, and it seems that Sting's games are getting way harder to find and like rare, and they're getting a bit more. Oh, Europe just makes everything in pounds. Okay. I gotta admit, they at least made assets for this game and animation. Credit where credit's due. They did a thing, but the reason why I got interested, not just because I've been trying to get Evolution Worlds for years now, was that I have this really obscure Sting RPG called Hexy's Force, and apparently that game is worth like $500 now. And like, apparently Sting's games are just getting harder to find, and I was like, well, if I'm ever going to get Evolution World, and I want it, even if I don't remember it being super great, now has got to be the time. So I went for it. And I ended up paying about $50 for it. Which is a lot for what it is, but it's something that I have a very fond memory of. So I went for it. And I mean, everything else I'm putting money into right now is Skylanders, because I stupidly decided to buy a bunch of Skylanders at a garage sale, and, well, I want to do a thing with my stepdaughter in the future, so I'm thinking about, since she doesn't know anything about me, and we're like, she lives in a different country altogether, so we've never really even met. I figured it could be a fun bonding thing, but I don't want to present half a game, so I'm trying to get, like, everything to play every Skylanders game. And to justify the cost, I'm trying to make videos on it now, I guess. But there's a lot of rare and, like, expensive Skylanders, and I just don't know how I'm going to afford all of it. Yeah, no, Hexy's Force is unbelievably expensive now. I got it for $5 at an HMV. And Evolution, it seems like all the things Sting ever made are going up in price, because I guess they're just getting more well known. I'm just button mashing past this. I'm not even really playing it, honestly. But I appreciate that they at least put animations and like 3D assets into this. They could have just taken like a 2D freaking PNG of a Monopoly board and just said, "Yep, this is Monopoly." But no, they made animations and stuff. Yeah, no, Evolution Worlds. I think it just depends on where you're from. I know I'm in Canada, and I'm in a town that never gets video games. I've only seen one physical copy aside from the one I bought. And that's because my town only had one video game store, and they wanted $400 for it. And that was absurd, but I think it's uncommon. I don't know what I'm bidding on, but I guess we'll bid. Hooray. Oh, we're auctioning Regent Street for 300. Okay. Well, you're spending more than 300 on it. That's not great. Okay, so how do I Okay. This is definitely Monopoly on the N64. I'll give it that. I can bid against myself as many times as I like. Nice. Okay, you're paying almost double for that stupid thing. Yeah, I've heard Michigan, Ohio is a really great place for retro gaming. Yeah, I'm in freaking Alberta. We have nothing here. It sucks. The only place in this entire town where you can even get games anymore is, and I mentioned this like last week, but there's a wargaming shop that has like a small little shelf of retro games that are like charged at 300% prices. But I managed to get a copy of Shining Force 2 for $50, which is less than half what it normally goes for, so I'm okay with that, I guess. Also, I found a copy of Herzog 2, which is a game I'm super into. Very confusing game. It's complicated, but I'm digging it. It's one of the most interesting Genesis games, I think. But yeah, I'm just in a really terrible place for buying video games. Like, even just stuff on eBay is absurd. Like I said, I've been buying Skylanders for this thing I'm planning to make a series on, and you know, for my stepdaughter. And it's like every single figure is like $15, but also, oh yeah, you're gonna have to pay like $35 shipping for every single figure, and it's just, I don't have any money. This is ostensibly my job. I make about $15 a month. I can't afford that. You know, games are getting so unbelievably expensive, and there's just no options for me locally. I've been going to garage sales and stuff, but because no place sells games, no garage sales have them either. It's frustrating. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest does seem to be the sort of place to be for retro gaming, typically. The Northeast seems to be it too. Like, I've heard good things about places like Pittsburgh and places like that. But yeah, I just live in the middle of cold ass Western Canada, and there's nothing here. Those googly eyes on that money bag are terrifying. Snake eyes. Fleet Street. I don't know. I'm just trying to find stuff at something I can vaguely afford to keep things going, but it's tough. Yeah, no. Everything was just expensive before the pandemic here. But they've certainly gone up as well, but I don't know why. I just live in what is like effectively a video game dead zone. If I want anything, it's just it's so incredibly expensive, and now that eBay's so incredibly bad with shipping and then import costs and then conversion on both those things in addition to the initial cost, I'm paying like $50 on top of anything I want to buy per item now, and it's just it's not rational to do that, especially when I don't make anywhere near enough money to do that. So I don't know. Onwards to Bond Street. Oh, stupid boot. Those googly eyes on that money bag are terrifying. But yeah, like I'm trying to find garage sales and anything on the weekends now that like will have any games, but no one has anything, and to be fair, there hasn't really been garage sales in almost 2 years, so finding video games is really tough. Vancouver might be, but then you'd have to live in Vancouver, and I've been there once. It is not a place to live, from my experience. Had the best piece of pizza I'd ever eaten in my life there, but I wouldn't recommend going to Vancouver to live there. At least mainland Vancouver. Maybe on the island it would be nice, but like the proper city of Vancouver is just not a place I'd ever want to be. And I'm in a big city. I'm in one of the biggest cities in the freaking country, but like just it's such a dirty place. I wouldn't want to go to Vancouver again, really. The only reason I went the first time is to see the ocean, and I never actually got a chance to. Because I basically tagged along with my grandparents who were visiting some friends or something. And I just never got a chance to see the ocean because I was so small at the time. Piccadilly. That's a fun word. 5. Well, I've never been to Seattle or Portland, but I can tell you that it's a very gross and dirty town. From what I remember, it was just not a very pleasant place to be, really. Granted, it's been probably about 15, 20 years, so, you know, maybe they've changed. But then again, that was also the city that set itself on fire because their hockey team won a match, or whatever that sports riot they had was. I don't know, I don't get sports. I don't care about sports at all. I find sports about as useful as esports, and I don't find either of those remotely valuable. Pass Go Award. Continue. But yeah, getting games here is just such a pain in the ass. And there's just not a lot going on here. I was really just put in a place in this world where, you know, what I like isn't really relevant. Which is not ideal. Oh, I'm in jail. Screw this. Yeah, they might very well all be very dirty cities. Who knows? Like, I know my town isn't probably terribly clean, but it was a lot better than freaking Vancouver the one time I went there. Alright, game number 5, Monster Truck Madness 64. I think I have this game. It's... awful's a good word for it, if this is the one I think it is. Because it's a racing game, but it's got like the jankiest ass physics you will ever see in a freaking racing game. Yep, I know this game. This is a game where your monster truck is actually more of a spaceship than anything. So let's see. Police truck. Where's Gravedigger? That's the only monster truck I know. Let's drive Gravedigger. This game is awful. I own it. It makes me sad that I own it. This was Rockstar, and this was Rockstar back when they named themselves Rockstar, you know? Before this, they were DMA Design, and they made Space Station Silicon Valley. One of the best goddamn N64 games you will ever play. Oh, God. What's reverse? Oh, it's Z. Oh, and it's not very good. Oh, that's reversing at full speed. I'm reversing off this. Can I restart? Screw this. I bought this because, well, how I got this was quite weird because I was going to garage sales many, many years ago, and there was like this really elderly couple down the street. And, you know, whenever I go to a garage sale, I don't see games, but I ask just because it's the only way I'll find anything in this world is if I go out of my way to bother people about it. And they said that their son collected video games, so what they did is they phoned their son and made me talk to him on the phone, a complete stranger. Bear in mind, I'm you know, Spectrum. I don't deal well with people at all in any real capacity. I don't talk well. I'm actually terrified of using the phone. But we started emailing each other, and it turned out that he had some really cool games. He had Drakengard 2 was one of the big ones, but he also had this game called Iden Chronicles, which was this really, really shitty, basically knockoff Quest 64 on the N64, but it was one of the N64's RPGs, and I'd never played it, so I wanted to know what it was all about. So I bought this big box off of him, basically, and it included this game. And that was a weird purchase, too, because after we agreed on a price, he decided to change it. And then after I paid it, he decided to remove a bunch of games from the box as well. So I paid more than we agreed on for less than we agreed on, but I got Drakengard 2, which was a game that costs like over $100 now, so... And I think it's only going up in price because Nier is so popular nowadays. But this game is one that certainly exists, and I own it, and I don't particularly care that I own it, but this is... Again, the N64, console for really bad, awkward racing games. When we're not talking about, like, Diddy Kong Racing. Or that, air racing game, Aero Gauge, I think it was called. That was actually pretty okay. Oh yes, Aiden is a Quest 64 ripoff. It's actually on this multi-card. I've shown it off before, but if you want, I could find a link to my first What the Hell Is video, because it was on Aiden Chronicles, because I had no idea what it was, and I bought it because I was curious. But yeah, it's got the same, like, hex movement thing, where you can move within, like, this body, and it just looks awkward and jank. It's got some really messed up, like, mechanics to it, too, because, like, there's this one character who has, like, this objectively, like, absurdly high, like, magic stat. But if they level once, their magic stat permanently drops to 0. And they're only useful as a mage, if I recall. So it's like, well, that's interesting. And I'm not sure if that's better or worse mechanically than Quest 64, because Quest's stupid, like, stat building system was equally awful. I really need to get a copy of Quest 64 just because I hate it so much. It is probably the third worst game I've ever played. And I hate it, and I need to make a video of it at some point, but I don't want to ever spend money on Quest 64. Reverse! Come on! There we go. Why is the... Okay, there we go. Camera in this game. The controls in this game, nothing in this game, the physics in this game, they don't work. You know, I can say a total of one polite thing about Quest 64. It is definitely in the top 5 best North American released RPGs on the N64. Now, granted, there were only 4, but it was in the top 5. Oh, to be fair, I don't count the Pokemon Stadium games as RPGs, because RPG involves questing, whereas that's just a battle simulator more than anything. Quest was so bad. Man, I hate that game. I remember getting stuck in it in a bunch of places, because, like, you could get... I think I Austin Powers my monster truck. There we go. I got stuck in a place where I was too low to attack the boss, but I couldn't go back to level up. So I was just stuck and had to restart. That was also the game where you only ever wanted to put stats into Earth, because Earth had a magic shield that protected you from everything. And then you just meleeed the shit out of everything. Yes, to be fair, the top 5 RPGs on the N64 is a qualifier that means basically nothing. But to be fair, it's true. You can't say it's not. Let's try this level. I don't know. Like, I'd say there's maybe 2 good RPGs on the N64, and that might be generous depending on your views of Hybrid Heaven. Like, Hybrid Heaven's super jank, but I think it's interesting enough that it's worth a play. But the only really good RPG on the N64 is Paper Mario. Really. But yeah, Aiden is basically just... We saw Quest 64 and wanted to try and make our version of it, basically. It's weird. I think if you focused entirely on the Earth element in Quest as well, you could actually get the invincibility attack by the first boss. because there's just so many elements, and if you just focus them all, you get there. That's the weird thing, though. Like, the game actively discouraged you from using more than maybe 2 elements, and they were predetermined from the start because Earth has, like, the rock drop, which is pretty powerful, although meleeing stuff is still the most powerful attack in the game. And it has the shield, which is... It literally makes you invincible because it blocks all magic damage for 3 turns. You can refresh it midway, and enemies only do magic damage. So, yeah, Quest is just brokenly, badly paced. And then the other element you want to invest in is water because it has healing, and even then you don't need it if you're invulnerable. But the thing is, you actively should not invest in anything beyond Earth because each element has a different stat associated with it, and if you increase the value of those stats, you decrease the others. So if you increase like the power of fire, you actively decrease the strength of water and your overall stats, and same with earth and wind. So at best you want to invest in 2 things that aren't going to affect each other, and since earth makes you invulnerable and water heals you, you're kind of already predetermined what you're going to do. It was just such a badly designed system. Yeah, no, Earth had that avalanche skill, which was probably the most effective magic as well. I still say that meleeing stuff was probably the most effective thing, but also we're now flying, because this is definitely a game about monster trucks. Don't worry about it. Actually, the flying mechanics in this are actually not horrible. It's probably the only time this game actually controls relatively nicely. But, yeah, Quest is awful. We're going to have to do it at some point, too. Oh. I'm not fishtailing for effect. This game actually just controls like that. Hooray! Maybe we can win this one. Ooh! Whoa, come on! Oh, that was hubris. I said I was gonna win, and then I absolutely lost. Where's the jetpack module? I want that again. It was too good. Oh god, this controls like garbage. Oh good, nitrous, because... Alright, there we go. Woo! Super flying carmobiles, power activate, go! Okay, okay. As long as I don't need to turn, we'll be okay. Oh god, I'm turning. Whoa! Oh my god, shut up game. You're annoying. Oh, this controls like ass. Oh, holy crap. Yeah, that game was gross. That game was not fun. Alright, and I believe that's 5, so if you're watching on Twitch, we will be back in a sec. I just gotta refresh the video, but if you're watching on YouTube, based on these past 5 games, would I recommend it? Well, not gonna lie, Mischief Makers, definitely one of the best N64 games. But Mission Impossible is definitely an impossible mission. Monaco Grand Prix is garbage. Monopoly, I mean, I'll give them credit. They came up with their own, like, 3D models and animation, but that's the only advantage I give it. Monster Truck is absolutely terrible. Mischief Makers is the only thing here that's worth anything. Let me just be clear about that. So, based on these past 5, if we're using the law of averages, absolutely not. But I will say Mischief Makers is that good. But I hope you enjoyed on YouTube. Again, on Twitch, we'll just refresh the video and do another one. But if you enjoyed, follow the stream. You know we go live, so try and stream as often as possible, usually 3 or 4 times a week. Got to come back tomorrow for some more Skies of Arcadia and other stuff, so look forward to that. I also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see everything else I do. I've got a loot video coming, so look forward to that. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is play some really, awkward jank bad N64 games, and the legendary Mischief Makers. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.